Earlier, I spoke with House Majority Leader. Joining me now, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. As you are looking across the Hill and watching the job that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has, you've been through this on the House side with health care. How difficult is it to get everybody on the same page?
It's not easy, and this is not the end. Remember, in the House, we had set an internal deadline, and we didn't make that deadline, but we worked together, and we found the ability to come together and move it through. The same thing will happen in the Senate, and it has to, because every day we learn of a new failure of Obamacare. Just this week, we found the 19th co-op out of 23 has collapsed. And they were given $2 billion under Obamacare, and they have just not been able to make it.
Well, and that raises the question for me then, what happens if they don't get something done in the Senate and then something you together can conference on when we get to 2018, when for years you all have promised people that you would get something done? Is it worse for you not to get something done and let Obamacare, quote, collapse, as the GOP predicts it will, or to be responsible for doing nothing to stop it?
Well, we can't sit and watch people's health deteriorate this way. We have to keep our promise, just as we did in the House. I expect the Senate to keep theirs, and for us to get this done and move it through to the president's desk.
Okay, you are very optimistic. We will, of course, continue to watch, and we'll see what voters have to say about how it pans out in 2018. In the meantime, you are doing a lot of other things. People forget there's a lot of other work that's getting done, an important VA bill. You all are also advancing a couple of bills dealing with illegal immigration, including Kate's Law. How critical are those? What difference will they make?
Well, this is very critical. It'll change lives. We all know what happened to Kate Steinle, that she was murdered by an illegal individual that had come into this country, arrested 5 times, multiple felonies, released. He then steals a gun, shoots, and kills Kate. That cannot happen again. And what this bill will do will empower the ICE authorities, withhold some grants to these cities that think they become sanctuary cities, not abide by the laws of America, but even more importantly, will allow the families to sue those municipalities if they want to break the law and not uphold the federal laws of America.
Yeah, and you're referring there to the sanctuary cities, which when they were threatened at the federal level by an executive order, immediately sued. So we know that friction is going to continue to be there, regardless of whether this gets passed or not. Will you have any Democrats support you on this, on these two measures?
Well, we moved sanctuary cities before, and Kate's Law. Kate's Law is we're moving through this time. But we had some Democrats support us last time when we moved the no sanctuaries for criminals. So I'm hopeful that they will continue to join with us. We'll have to watch and see, because this resist movement in the Democratic Party about doing nothing, I think, is very hurtful to America.
What about the Senate? Because even with the GOP control there are some who are skeptical about whether these two important immigration issues will get a vote in the Senate.
Well, I think we'll just have to put the pressure on, let them hear from the American public that they think it is wrong that you could have an illegal individual get arrested for felonies and continue to be released and cause more crimes. We cannot allow more people to be murdered across this country. We have to do something about it, and that's exactly what we're going to do in the House.
What's the concern, though, about the Senate and why they wouldn't take it up?
Well, in the Senate, they have this funky rule that says it has to take 60 votes. So the Republicans will all be there, but it takes another 8 Democrats to join with it. And so many times I've heard from the minority over there that they want nothing to happen. Their own movement is entitled Resist, to have nothing happen instead of come together as Americans first and actually solve problems. So I'm hopeful that they will listen to the American public and actually find Democrats to join with us to move forward.
You know, not every day we hear the word funky when talking about the U.S. Senate. So maybe that's a first this morning. I want to talk to you, too, about this interesting case out of California. You have a House member, a U.S. House member, who is an elect. He hasn't been sworn in. It's been weeks since his election. And apparently he told the L.A. Times he wanted to stick around in the California State Assembly so that he could vote on an environmental issue. But his seat's empty in Congress right now, correct?
He should be. He got elected more than 3 weeks ago. We've had other special elections just last week in South Carolina, then Karen Handel in Georgia. They got elected last week. They're already sworn into Congress. I don't know what's going on with Mr. Gomez, but he's neglecting his own constituents. What about those veterans that need help and others? And he was in Sacramento working because he's an assemblyman, but he's not, and he got elected as a congressman. He should come here and work. And what's interesting, he told the LA Times, or the press ahead of time, that he wanted to stay to vote for cap and trade because the Democrats have a 2/3 majority there. They've already increased the gas tax on the Californian citizens, and now they want to increase it even higher. I think he's neglecting his job. Either he wants to be a member of Congress, or he should be honest with his constituents, and we should elect somebody that wants to come here and work day one.
Well, not every day that a GOP leader would want a Democrat to hurry up and get in the House, but I understand what you're getting at. Mr. Majority Leader, thank you for your time today. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
All right.